reality. It's believing through all the stops along the way to the journey home. When it's in your DNA, there's always time to play ball.
We give a few things that just seem to be, and I think you'd get that number way back up. Think of it. You have 1 in 20,000, and now it's just
okay.
It's not even
Let's play ball.
When you
is not believable.
Think that 20,000 drops to 12 children. Yeah, so that's induced.
What's up, Show Nation? This is Chris Singleton, and welcome to the show.
And it should be able to be stopped. And you were talking about the Pennsylvania Dutch. You were talking about the Amish, where they don't take any of this stuff, and they have virtually
that's.
They have no.
Yeah, they're talking about the time the Amish guy went on Theo. I'm
I
not
don't want to do that.
about this. The Amish guy went on Theo Vaughn's podcast, and they said they don't have ADHD in the Amish community.
Shut up.
So we're not even talking about autism anymore. But,
the
is
entire,
that what it is?
yeah.
The entire religion is autistic. I'm sorry. Like, that much attention to the weaving and the no electricity.
Nah, I gotta start
You gotta
off.
be an autist to start that.
Have barn raising down to a science.
Yeah. Come
He
on.
goes on, I don't think it's in this clip, but he goes on Trump and says that we
Pitts?
give
No, road to
babies
the show.
vaccines
What's
the
this?
size of
Classics.
glasses of water.
Oh.
Don't give them anything. Just give them air.
It
Inject them with air.
is the size of it. We should not be giving them that much vaccine.
And
This is-
$100-sized Tylenol.
Why do we give babies vaccines that are 50 times larger than we give adults?
Meanwhile, like
That is crazy, sir.
It doesn't make sense.
How big
We'll
is
look into that.
how big is the ivermectin pill? They're like, we just gotta let him choke down some horse dewormer. It's all my kid needs. No, it is truly terrifying. I think
Great if we allowed
Trump
female
is the
polo
most
players.
cucked by RFK Jr. by far. Has there been anyone who's gotten him to
Oh, yeah.
180 on a policy on the one effing thing that he did well, which was Operation Warp Speed? I mean, what a
But
cuck.
that ship had already sailed.
Whatever, he signed his name to it and all that. I'm
saying like the turnaround I would not credit Kennedy with.
Oh, sure.
I would say like that ship had sailed. He was already disavowing the warp speed early because of the anti-vax movement, and because
he was resentful of it, though. There was a little bit. I mean, it was good, but like
of
he,
course, but he was trying to split the difference because by the time he leaves office, like they just went full on with like it's not really even real. The plan. I mean, remember when it was like the pandemic? Then it was the vaccines. Like it's just like a huge market of self-denial. There were guys on the street in New York with microphones. Really, like Dave Rubin maybe even was out like in the first couple days in New York on like, I don't see any refrigerator trailers. Like they were.
Yeah, Dave Rubin was going saying there's nobody at the hospital. It must be a lie.
Jesus.
Amazing.
Because like I just wanted to be a fascist. I didn't want to be a psycho.
No.
That's what Rubio's saying. Like, oh man.
I don't. It's just amazing. It's just amazing.
It's like, hey Bobby, turn off your massage chair before you talk. It's just vibrating. Hold on, let me drop another quarter into this thing. My back is really tight.
If he has like a vibrating belt on, and that's why his voice is sounded like.
He knows he sounds like he's dying. Like he's well aware, and yet he still talks.
He's the leader of health in the country.
Picture of health: regular tanning beds, shoes, Z, whatever. What are the tobacco strips? By the way, tobacco is all in on Maha and RFK Jr. because they avoid tobacco completely. They don't talk. The leading cause of chronic disease, they're so obsessed with chronic disease, is tobacco in this country. They don't talk about it.
Well, don't they sell nicotine? Like, aren't they part of that new nicotine movement?
Zyn?
Yeah, there's Zyn. That's the word. That's what I was. Z. Yeah,
Who
Zyn.
owns Zyn?
I don't know, but RFK Jr. is constantly popping it.
But I've heard, I think, Zyn is like pretty dense with nicotine, right? I've heard like getting off of Zyns are way have been getting off of.
So by Philip
cigarettes.
Morris.
Oh, good.
Small
Well,
company.
They know how to do it.
Dr. Chaos MD, I claim to be a doctor, and I will confidently say that yes, TRT will completely degrade your cognitive function and make you a raving lunatic. However, it does make you a delightful shade of red. Chris Burdick, I wonder what connection might exist between RFK Jr. now claiming that circumcisions cause autism and his earlier assertion that COVID was a bioweapon engineered to spare Ashkenazi Jews.
Yes, we're heading there eventually. Just got to build the case.
A couple more IMs.
Shame
Onion
his,
Breath, FYI, falling ice and honking is likely what got the woman rammed by ice and shot 5 times last Saturday in Chicago. I guess maybe you got to be careful.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you can get through that you'll get 12, 15 mil.
Between the 101 and the 5, actually a brawny. Dudes Who Love My Little Pony. Please look that up, Sam, and watch the Netflix documentary.
Yes, that's Rip Brown. Wow, I love that. I don't want to watch that documentary. I don't want to know.
So, what's going to happen at your show on Monday?
What isn't going to happen? It's going to be crazy. Tylenol everywhere.
Circumcisions, vaccines.
Live circumcisions, adult circumcisions, child circumcisions.
TRT for the first 15 through the door. Is that the way?
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna be doing stand-up comedy. Matt and I co-headlining, and Daniel Mate and Aaron Brown's gonna do some live audio. Yeah, exactly. We're going to legalize it. It's going to be super fun. Come out. I forgot my merch, which sucks. That's okay.
There's links to the tickets in the show.
Hey, the link to the tickets in the show notes.
Legalized comedy.
My God. Yeah, the Riyadh stuff. I didn't get the invite to Riyadh, so I'm here now.
Yeah.
Super pissed.
I guessed. But that Riyadh's
You don't think I could have been asked?
Isn't it over?
It's over. But my favorite part about that whole kerfuffle is that someone asked to be on that lineup. You know, like as a comic, you're like, we know there's someone who's like, hey, could I actually?
I saw Tim Dillon got disinvited.
Yeah.
Do you need a replacement?
Does anybody have Turkey El Sheik's number?
All right, I'm going to read 5 IMs and we'll get out of here. Chucky B, Amish don't get diagnosed with ADHD or autism because they don't go anywhere near a hospital. MJS617, Sam, Swalwell seemed to be really hyping up whatever's in the Epstein files. He can't afford to oversell this, in my opinion. It would be a big miscalculation if it turns out to be less than truly scandalous, and he should know this by now. He's going to lose all credibility if he underdelivers yet again. I mean, I don't know. I feel like there are certain politics that Democrats are subjected to and Republicans know, right? Like, they had 50 hearings on Benghazi and never paid a price. In fact, it was very lucrative. That's where the whole Clinton emails thing came from. What do you think about the Katie Porter thing, just quickly? Do you give a shit?
I don't. I don't give a shit. I actually don't. I just think it's funny that people are making it a thing. I don't know where her political career is going, really. I think the AIPAC and the Netanyahu meeting stuff, I soured a lot of the progressive movement on her anyway before this. If she were a pain in the ass as a boss but also had great politics, that'd be different. I mean, I'm sorry, but it is. But this is just like, it's palace intrigue on a campaign that I don't think had a lot of legs to begin with. But
she seemed
I
like
hate
the presumptive. She seemed like the presumptive nominee.
Isn't Harris gonna jump? I don't know.
I don't think Harris is.
No. If it's Porter v. Newsom, we all know where I'm standing on something like that.
But does Newsom is there no
terming
term
out?
Yeah,
I guess he's terming. Okay, I don't know. I'm just from California, whatever. I don't know.
Do
you care?
There are parts about her politics that I very, very much like. And I think the question was dumb. I think she mishandled it as a political matter, as an optics. But do I care that she may be an ass to work for? I wouldn't necessarily want to work for her under those circumstances. But
no, it's not going to ruin.
A lot of people.
I don't think the campaign is over. I don't think it's like, donezo.
They're really trying to push it hard. Somebody is.
Yeah, someone is trying to tank her for sure, and it's probably a centrist.
Lydia Rose. Franny, will you have transgender for everybody at your show?
Oh, transgender for everybody.
Everybody trans.
More, yeah. First 100 through the door. If we sell out, everyone is getting free transgender.
Joe Banks, please cover Hegseth's announcement that he's accepted the building of a Qatari Emory Air Force Base in Idaho. We heard that, and we cannot figure out what that means.
Sure, Idaho will love it, though.
They don't actually mean like there's going to be Qatari Air Force.
Why not?
But, all right. I guess, turnaround's a fair play.
It is kind of funny to put a Qatari Air Force base in, like, the state known for white supremacy.
Yeah, dude, when Israel bombs it, the anti-Semitism is going to go insane.
Mortified Penguin, Fed here, federal worker. Little clarification, my bank usually gets my paycheck through on Saturdays. As I understand it, we should still get paid for the work we actually did the last pay period, 9/22 to 10/3. We pay stopping on 10/1 shutdown date. So we should get some, but not all of our paycheck. All right, two more.
Back to California really quickly. Everyone should have gotten their ballot to vote on Proposition 50 to redistrict California, to out-gerrymander Texas.
When does that vote?
November.
Oh, wow.
But it's out now. You can send it back on mail, via mail, or Dropbox. So fill that out, yes. And I think it's good. This is put to the people. So don't sleep on that. It's in your mail. Go check it right now.
Kentucky boy, Chuck Schumer Moneyball movie where he's trying to replace the octogenarian big names with potential prospects he's found at nursing homes. And the final I am of the week. Saber Drake. He used the word dispositive, so he must be right about this stuff.
Dispositive.
Matt, Brian, Emma in absentia, Francesca, great job today. The rest of you, great job this week.
Thank you, everybody. Subscribe to youtube.com/FrannyFio. Come see me live. Come watch my deep dive videos. Sorry that I'm getting these plugs in so late.
It's all in the notes.
It's in the notes. Bye-bye.
It might take all the strength I got to get to where I want, but I know somehow I'm gonna get there. I wasn't looking when I just got caught between the truth and the lie ball. But finding out won't make me feel any better. Yeah, I know the clock is ticking, but the meds are gonna kick in, and my pilot light shining bright. I guess somewhere the choice was made for the option where you don't get paid, for the road that bends before it finally breaks you. I guess somehow I lost my drive between the 101 and the 5. Do you know how far the detour takes you? Yeah, I know the clock is ticking, but the meds are gonna kick in, and my pilot light shining bright. shifted in and out of gear, waiting for my moment to happen. I don't know how much longer I can stay in, or how much more I got to pay to play in. I know somehow the lights got great in.
Okay. I did want to go. Let's see what new. No, not that new. Recently updated. Sure.
This
NPR.
message comes from Capital One Commercial Bank. Access comprehensive solutions from a top commercial bank that prioritizes your needs today and goals for tomorrow. Learn more at CapitalOne.com/commercial. Member FDIC.
Live from NPR News, I'm Dale Willman. The Trump administration is firing more federal workers as the government remains shut down. Budget Director Russ Vought posted on social media Friday that the process has begun.
So
As
I'm
NPR's
working on
Selena
it.
Simmons-Duffin reports, one of the targets is the Department of Health and Human Services.
HHS encompasses all the federal health agencies, including the Food and Drug Administration, the National Institutes for Health, and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Spokesperson Andrew Nixon did not say how many staff were being fired or which agencies were being affected. He said the department had grown bloated during the Biden administration, and the cuts are the, quote, consequence of the Democrat-led government shutdown. However, because of the firings and retirements earlier this year, HHS was already smaller than it was under President Biden before this latest round of layoffs. Selena Simmons-Duffin, NPR News, Washington.
Tens of thousands of Palestinians are returning to northern Gaza this weekend after the new ceasefire went into effect Friday morning. They're finding family homes and stores gone in the heavily destroyed region. President Trump, meanwhile, says Hamas had no choice other than to agree to a deal.
They knew the retribution would be tremendous, unsustainable. It would have been unsustainable. It would have been complete obliteration, and
what an asshole.
They didn't want that, and nobody wants it at this point. They want to get on with rebuilding the entire Middle East.
Despite the ceasefire, though, questions still remain. Among them are if and when Hamas will disarm. President Emmanuel Macron has renamed his outgoing prime minister as his incoming prime minister. It's a move that has baffled the country and done nothing to calm political upheaval in France. As NPR's Eleanor Beardsley reports, it only adds to the instability brought on by having 4 prime ministers in the last year.
C'est bien Sébastien Lecornu qui est nommé Premier ministre. Sébastien Lecornu succède donc.
Sébastien Lecornu will now replace Sébastien Lecornu, said one TV anchor in stupefaction. On Monday, Lecornu resigned before even serving, saying the parliament was too fractured to get anything done. Macron said he would name a new PM. It's clear Macron wants to avoid dissolving parliament and holding new legislative elections, but so far no one seems to understand why he named the same premier who just threw in the towel. The far right and left are howling for Macron's resignation more than ever, but some analysts say Lecornu, a former defense minister, is humble and smart. They say perhaps he can save the situation. Eleanor Beardsley, NPR News, Paris.
Wall Street took a major hit on Friday after President Trump threatened to increase tariffs on China. He's angry after China placed restrictions on the export of its rare earth elements. The S&P 500 finished Friday down 2.71%, its worst day since April. The NASDAQ composite lost 3.56%. You're listening to NPR News. California is the first state to ban ultra-processed foods in school meals. As NPR's Maria Godoy reports, health experts are increasingly concerned about these foods, which dominate kids' diets.
The new law prohibits public schools in California from serving children what it terms as, quote, ultra-processed foods of concern. This category of foods has been linked to health risks such as type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular disease. But regulating them has been tricky because scientists have yet to agree on a precise definition. The new law tackles this issue by defining ultra-processed foods as those that contain high levels of salt, fat, and added sugars, as well as certain ingredients such as artificial sweeteners, synthetic food dyes, emulsifiers, and thickening agents. Schools will be required to start phasing these foods out by mid-2029 and complete the changes by 2035. Maria Godoy, NPR News.
At least 22 people are dead following major flooding in central Mexico. Officials say heavy rains have also caused landslides, while overflowing rivers have damaged about 1,000 homes, 59 hospitals, and several highways. Electricity was also cut in parts of 17 Mexican states, and the landslide also ruptured a gas line. Security forces in Pakistan have killed 30 militants in raids on several Pakistani Taliban hideouts. The attacks occurred in the country's northwestern region, which is a base for several militant groups. The raids were in response to an ambush earlier this week on a security convoy. 11 Pakistani soldiers were killed in that attack. A group of Pakistani Taliban members also attacked a police station in the same region Friday night. I'm Dale Willman, NPR News.
This message comes from Bombas. You need better socks and slippers and underwear because you should love what you wear every day. One purchased equals one donated. Go to bombas.com/NPR and use code NPR for 20% off.
There we go. All right. Let's see if I got my photos here. Which, of course, wouldn't. Oh, no, I did. Continue the stuff. Chris Hayes. I would, you know what? Okay, yeah, let's listen to EV News.
So you want to start a business. You might think you need a team of people and
Like
fancy
20
tech
minutes.
skills, but you don't. You just need GoDaddy. GoDaddy Arrow will take your idea.
To context in one platform. The result, faster insights.
But I'm an actor. I don't know. .com/arrow. That's GoDaddy.com/.
At hex.ai.
Terrible, but my voice is getting much better now, so I can catch up with this. Well, thank you, Harry. Electrica.
Transform your data team from a dashboard factory to
Okay,
a
here we
strategic
go.
insights engine.
EV News
Join
Daily.
teams from Anthropic, Lovable, Ramp, and 1,500 other customers at hex.ai.
Welcome back to the podcast today. The Renault Twingo arrives, the Ferrari Elettrica arrives, and Rivian adds Google Gemini. Plus, stay tuned later in the show. I'll tell you what wildly high percentage of electric two-wheelers they use in Pakistan that have rather dubious batteries. Well, thank you for listening to the podcast this week. I know I've been really under the weather, just about coming out the other side of it. The occupational hazard of having two small little people who run around the house and bring everything home. So, been under the weather, still feeling
I know
terrible,
that with just
my voice
one
is getting
kid.
much better now, so I can catch up with a couple of the bonus shows I've written and not yet recorded. And by the way, if you're on Patreon, I don't like to plug it too much, but it's how I earn a living these days. The Patreon platform gives me 95% of the money that you pledge. They take some for the platform, the processing, the credit card fees and things like that. There's nothing else, whether YouTube or whatever, that gives me that share of the revenue. It's incredible. It really supports creators, and if you get any value out of this, whether you learn something from this podcast or get entertained by it or whatever, have a think about the Patreon platform. $5, $10 a month, be an exec producer, get your name in the show notes every day, get your name on the Hall of Fame, and join our list of legends. So check out patreon.com/EVNewsDaily. Quick mention for a new feature I switched on yesterday called Kilowatt Confidential, the Patreon-only chat. Now, Patreon can have a chat feature, multiple chat rooms for different tiers. I'm going to start using those more for when Question of the Week comes back next week. But for today, I can confirm that we've turned on the internal chat room for Patreon-only subscribers. So if you're in the Patreon gang, hundreds of people are, come and have a chat. At the minute, I've got one room, which is just generally come and chat with me. It's where I'm hanging out and sharing my thoughts. I'm not on social media anymore, just for mental health reasons, and it just got a complete mess. I might go back to posting on it, but not reading. So if you want to interact, for now, it's paid Patreon subscribers, and I'll open that up to the free tier, because you can be a free Patreon supporter. Cost you nothing, just a registration, and we'll do some stuff with Question of the Week. But for now, I've opened it up. I've called it Kilowatt Confidential. But, you know, that's what the chat room is called. Come and say hi and chat over the weekend, and I'd love to hear from you. All right, plug out of the way. It's one of the benefits of being a Patreon subscriber, by the way, if you want to come and chat with the gang. Now, Renault kick us off today. We'll unveil the 4th generation Twingo, called Twingo E-Tech. We get it on 6th of November. Orders opening mid-November, mid-October, I think, if you have an R pass, and so that is the Renault pass. I've done it before, and so if you want to get ahead of the queue by a month or so, you can buy a pass, which gives you a spot in line.
Face scan.
People do it. If you're a big Renault fan, I guess I'm always tempted to wait 6 months and see what offers come out. But if you need a new car and you love the new Twingo, and I really do, by the way, this starts at £17,000. Delivery is 2026, but we don't know when. As the early reservation scheme is called Twingo R Pass, 15th of October, you can get in line, or skip the line, really, I suppose. 4 official preview images were published today, which show a rounded, bubble-like silhouette, semicircular lighting. Renault hasn't given us all the full drivetrain specs, but we know this is on the same platform as the Renault 4 and Renault 5. It's called AMPR, or Ampere Small, from Renault and Ampere, their EV business. And they want an efficiency target of this little car, 6.2 miles per kilowatt hour. I'm so excited by small, efficient EVs. You know this by now. I'm wildly excited by a £17,000 Renault Twingo. Yeah, they're a cheaper cars. They're cheap bit of the company, their Romanian bit, Dacia, sell the Spring, and you can get that for £10,000 today, by the way. There's a dealer near me in Christchurch, I think they're called Hendy? Vertu? Anyway, I'm sorry, I'll double check if you're interested. In fact, I'll put it on the Patreon exclusive chat, Kilowatt Confidential. I'll pop it in there if anyone's interested. I saw a pre-reg car. So this was registered in March, but it hasn't driven off their lot in 6 months. And so it's done 10 miles, right? It's effectively a new car, but it's not a new registration. It's a pre-reg car. And it's $9,995 for a Dacia Spring. All right, battery's under 30 kilowatt hours. It's super stripped down. You could make an argument, should you just buy an Aura Funky Cat that's now 2 or 3 years old, that's got electric seats, heated seats, 360 camera, because they're £11,000 now, by the way. They've had massive depreciation. You could make that argument. For a brand new car under £10,000, no one reports that news, do they? You know, the newspapers say, oh, you get a 10 grand brand new EV now. But you can. So I know that this Renault Twingo is going to be more than that, but look, give it time, let the offers kick in. This little Renault Twingo, if it's anything by the 5 and the 4, which are incredible cars, Renault's on a roll right now. They have a new CEO, Francois Provost, describes himself as a continuity CEO, and that's an amazing thing to hear because a lot of CEOs want to make their mark. This guy's like, right, we have a plan, let's execute the plan. The company says the Twingo will be 50% less to produce than the new C-segment SUV that they're making through material use changes, software-centric architectures, and a faster scale up as well. Big headline today, actually. I know that not everyone's going to get this car, especially my US listeners as well, but honestly, the small car market, the under 20 grand, under 15 grand market in Europe is exploding. Do you want to know why? The UK had mandates this year. Europe has mandates this year. Europe is now fighting tooth and nail, especially the Germans, to get rid of the 2035 mandate on pure combustion. Let me tell you, those mandates, absolutely, because you've got to sell a car to get a credit, right? That means you can sell arguably some more expensive petrol SUVs, and there's some funky things with the zero emission credits, but they absolutely work at the lower end of the market. We have an explosion of choice under 20k and loads under 17, 18, arguably. And I'm absolutely here for it. I love it. All right, let's move on before I fangirl too much on the Renault Twingo. The Ferrari Elettrica, yes, there's no C in that. The Italian Elettrica is their Ferrari's first EV, and we got the specs issued yesterday. And as you can imagine, the internet did its thing and said that Ferrari shouldn't be going electric, but yeah, whatever. 4-motor, 4-door GT, arguably the most comfortable Ferrari ever made. This thing's going to be a GT cruiser, skateboard platform, 4 motors, 1,000 horsepower, 2.5 seconds to 62, 200 mile an hour top speed. Battery, big, 122 kilowatt hour. Charging, big, 350 kilowatts on an 800 volt platform. So that range of 323 miles is kind of neither here nor there. It's a Ferrari, but you'll either buy one or you won't. And actually, you won't be able to buy one of these. I can't buy one of these, even if I had won the lottery, because Ferraris these days are a case of, especially with a small run like their first EV, it will be people who have several Ferraris in their garage get invited to buy one of these. That's the way Ferrari works these days. The front axle houses 2 motors combined with the rear pair, making 1,000 horsepower. Ferrari says all developed in-house. So the motors developed in-house. The battery developed in-house. The cells themselves, though, come from SK Innovation. Elettrica has 3 energy settings: range, touring, and performance. 5 drive modes, from ice to wet to sport, and even everything turned off. ESC, traction control, stability, all off. Cabin sound is generated from a rear axle accelerometer that Ferrari compares to the pickup on an electric guitar. So amplifying the EV motors, the vibrations, the processes, the actual gearing itself. They're not inventing an electric sound and playing it in through speakers. They're amplifying the noise that your car makes. They say, look, if we're going to make a Ferrari EV, have a listen to it. Listen to what... And oh, man, how long have I been waiting to hear this? I love the sound of an EV. I love it in the summer here when my windows are down and I can just hear the sound of my car. I don't miss vroom, vroom, putt, putt anymore. Ferrari will do a full reveal early next year, saying it's not a supercar, it's a GT Tourer. What will it cost? Doesn't matter. 500 grand maybe? Yeah, only Ferrari fans will get invited to buy one anyway and add it to their collection. Now, it appears Rivian is getting rid of Amazon's Alexa and going for Google's Gemini, just as I did recently. I'm glad to see that RJ Scaringe is paying attention to my home automation setup. Yeah, look, I ditched Alexa. I had a screen in every room. I got my first one, the Tower, like a big toilet roll, big kitchen roll, years ago. Got in our old house 7 or 8 years ago, I don't know. And I loved it. It was brilliant. Controlled the house with it. But then more and more recently, I'd come into a room and then the screen would be showing me, hey, do you want to buy this product on Amazon? I'm like, no, I didn't buy a product for now to be sold to. So do one, Bezos. So I've got rid of all of my screens. If I haven't, they're in a box in front of me and I need to eBay them. If anybody wants a box of varying sizes of Amazon screens, I give you mates rates, holy moly. So I've got a couple of Google screens now. We've really pulled back on the screens and now we just have speakers. But now we've got kids and stuff. I'm a bit careful of screens around the house, easily to get addicted to them when you're kiddos. And so Rivian's doing the same. So they're getting rid of the Amazon system. And with Google Gemini, and I use that a lot because I pay for the Google subscription service for 2 terabytes of storage and Gemini as well. It's honestly really, really good. Like all the LLMs now are brilliant. You just talk to them in normal language. So you could probably ask your car not only about the car itself, turn on the heating, the cooling, the seats, but also about generally where you're going and things like that. CEO RJ Scaringe said they'll add voice to text and reaffirmed no support for Apple. Now, also, Rivian reconfirming their R2. I've mentioned this a couple of times recently, but this is the strongest. Yesterday I saw the news. RJ Scaringe saying he's never been more confident in their future. I guess he has to be the biggest cheerleader. If the CEO can't be the biggest cheerleader, who can, right? Scaringe says the R2 embodies lessons from the R1 and credits highly accurate, precise teams for the progress and the brand resonance. Skeptics say that Rivian's failure after 16 years, like they're not new. They took a long time to find their groove. Then they got backed by Amazon, Volkswagen. They did a proper IPO. Rivian is the real deal. The vehicles are the real deal. Many people are still critical, though, saying that they won't get through to the R2. You know, the $45,000 won't be immediate vehicle, but it'll come in time by the next year, they say, and I think they're going to be fantastic. Next generation Volvo EX40 confirmed to use the SPA3 platform. SPA3 platform is Volvo's thing. So shifting from the CMA platform, co-developed with Geely, to Volvo's BEV-only SPA3. Volvo, interestingly, reading between the lines, have made noises, I think following the glitchy launch of EX30 and the glitchy still launch of EX90, are distancing themselves in the customer's mind from Geely, the mothership. Obviously, they can't distance themselves because they're owned by them, but Volvo, I think in terms of the customer messaging, have actually said, this is not a Geely shared platform. This is Volvo's platform. We'll get it right from now on. I think maybe their customer research probably told them they had to do something like that, because EV fans are a little more educated than, you know, early adopters are a little more educated. Most people wouldn't know the platform a car is on. But Volvo have said, look, this is our platform. It's a Volvo. It's coming in 2027. Cell-to-body integration, high voltage, mega casting to give us cost reductions and simplification, and new chemistries as well. So an LFP pack, an NMC pack, and 350 miles plus, you would think, on an EX40 coming in 2027. Pricing, what, 50K in America? I don't know. They haven't said. I'm guessing. Tesla introduced their new standard trims for 3 and Y this week. The Model 3 now uses manually adjustable electric mirrors rather than power mirrors. And people have taken to the internet to point out many of the things wrong with Tesla this week. You won't be surprised to hear the internet had its say, pointing out the Mitsubishi Mirage is a $17,000 vehicle new and has power mirrors. Model 3 doesn't. But the Model Y does keep power adjustable mirrors. But also then covers up the glass screen. Interior on the Model 3 goes to cloth with plastic and cloth inserts. The small rear screen that adjusted the vents and things like that is all gone. Rear seat is only heated. Front seat ventilation and rear seat heating is all gone. No AM/FM radio, no ambient lighting. Battery capacity is reduced, 69.5 kilowatt hours. Peak charging, 225 kilowatts. And again, the internet pointing out, well, actually, let's compare that 40,000, because it's 39,000? Maybe, no, it's almost 40 with fees, right, destination. Saying, well, but what about the new Chevy Bolt that's coming? Well, that's got, almost as much range. It charges at 150 kilowatts, and if you're not road tripping, that is going to have lane centering, for instance, and a degree of autonomy and ADAS, which the Teslas don't. I'm not so bothered about that side of it. The internet very much was up in arms over Tesla not even giving you autopilot. Completely, there's nothing apart from cruise control on the standard range 3 and Y. That's probably just an intentional thing to nudge you towards FSD, and $99 a month, isn't it? Let's face it. So it comes with the hardware needed. It's not like they're taking all the cameras out of the cars. And so I'm less worried about that. The internet got very upset about no autopilot. And fair enough. But I think that's just a marketing ploy to get you to see FSD as a worthwhile subscription. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk Skoda in Germany and Nissan and the Leaf in Japan. Stick around. Back in a mo.
So you want to start a business. You might think you need a team of people and fancy tech skills, but you don't. You just need GoDaddy Aero. I'm Walton Goggins, and as an actor, I'm an expert in looking like I know what I'm doing. GoDaddy Aero uses AI to create everything you need to grow a business. It'll make you a unique logo. It'll create a custom website. It'll write social posts for you and even set you up with a social media calendar. GoDaddy Aero will take your idea that sounds good and make a business that looks like you know what you're doing. Get started at GoDaddy.com/Aero. That's GoDaddy.com/AIRO.
How many times have you wished you could be in two places at once? With Wix, you practically can. Wix's website builder is packed with powerful AI tools to make running your business online easier. Build a full site just by talking with AI. Get an AI agent to manage your sales and marketing. Or work like a 10-person team, even if it's just you. So you don't need superpowers to get everything done. You just need Wix. Try it out for yourself at Wix.com.
So you want to start a business. You might think you need a team of people and fancy tech skills, but you don't. You just need GoDaddy Arrow. I'm Walton Goggins, and as an actor, I'm an expert in looking like I know what I'm doing, even when I don't. And I like the sound of starting my own business, Walton Goggins Goggle Glasses. But I'm an actor. I don't know what I'm doing. I needed help. GoDaddy Arrow uses AI to create everything you need to grow a business. It'll make you a unique logo. It'll create a custom website. It'll write social posts for you and even set you up with a social media calendar. I didn't even realize I needed a social media calendar. GoDaddy Arrow will take your idea that sounds good and make a business that looks like you know what you're doing. GoDaddy Arrow can get your business up and running in minutes. You know what that sounds like? It sounds like a plan. Get started at GoDaddy.com/arrow. That's GoDaddy.com/AIRO.
Mr. Monopoly here. Monopoly is back at McDonald's. Register in the McDonald's app so you're ready to get your bag. 2 ways to peel for a chance to get your bag. Physical peels with select items and digital peels with others to get your bag. Play Monopoly at McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
No purchase necessary. See rules at PlayMCD.com for full details and AMOE.PlayMCD.com to play without purchase. Ends November 23rd, but bonus play ends November 2nd. Monopoly is a registered trademark of Hasbro. Copyright McDonald's.
All right, welcome back to the podcast. Now, let's talk about BYD sales in Germany surging. Well, they're coming up from nothing, really. They sold last month in September 3,255 cars, which is a 2,225% year-on-year increase. From January to September, BYD sold almost 12,000 cars in Germany. So smooth it out, that's a 600% increase on the first 9 months of this year compared to last year, because they weren't really around last year. Softer sales and a tough market in China have forced the Chinese makers to look overseas, and Germany's one of those markets. BYD is localizing production as well, with semi-knockdown kits in Brazil and Uzbekistan. Their European factory in Hungary should come online soon. Skoda in Germany has done really well. They're number 2 in the market now, overtaking BMW. So number 1 in Germany is the VW brand itself with 76,000 BEVs. Skoda, 35,000 BEVs, and BMW, 34,500 BEVs. Then in Germany, it's Audi, Seat Cupra, Mercedes, and Tesla down in 8th now in Germany. Even though the cars are made there, for now, the Germans are not sold so much on Teslas. Some of the industry experts saying that that's a sign of things to come, with more Chinese cars coming to Europe. Nissan, though, is launching the new Leaf in Japan first of all, taking orders from October 17th for the new third-gen Leaf, positioning it as the core model. Like it's the only thing they sell of any substance. The new Aria has been refreshed in Japan. Aria now off the menu in the US, but being refreshed in Japan. Leaf, though, offers 702 kilometers driving range, 50% more than the second-gen model. 10 to 80, under 35 minutes, they say. There's some good Leaf stuff online already. The great YouTube channel and EV content creator Misco Electric. Lacey's done a lot of stuff around Nissan. She works with Nissan. She supercharged a Nissan Leaf. One of her shorts this week showed it taking, was it 140, 150 kilowatts, and the pack was half full. That's really, really good. The first variant, designated the B7, starts at $34,000 equivalent in Japan, coming down to $28,000 equivalent, with about 4 million yen off with government subsidies. Nissan plans lower capacity, lower priced models announced in February. The new Leaf will reach the US soon. I mean, it's already out in the US, as in we've seen the car, and it should be on Europe's roads by early 2026 as well. And when you charge your EVs, it's getting cheaper if you use Ionity. 2 new annual subscriptions, Power and Motion, to make ultra rapid EV charging costs a bit more predictable. Both plans guarantee Ionity's lowest charging rates for 12 months while customers pay the equivalent of only 10 months of base fees. Pricing is transparent, they say, with no hidden fees, no unexpected charges. Motion 365 subscribers can also upgrade to Power 365. So what do you get? Well, you get a free RFID charging card to put on your key ring. Lucky you. And you get 5,000 ultra-rapid chargers up to 400 kilowatts in 23 European countries to make ultra-rapid charging, they say, more predictable with two new annual subscription tiers. FedEx in Australia is adding 55 electric delivery vehicles. I almost called them EDVs. That's Rivian's terminology, not FedEx at all, because they're using Fuso e-Canters and Mercedes-Benz e-Sprinters. Rollout begins in Adelaide, expanding to Melbourne, Sydney, and Brisbane. The e-Canter has a range of 200 kilometres per charge. The e-Sprinter has 1.5 tonnes payload and 264 kilometres of range. This supports FedEx's global goal to decarbonise their fleet. The company called Fuel, F-U-E-L-L, founded by motorcycle racer, entrepreneur, famous bike guy Eric Buell, sadly didn't make it. I had a few emails over the years from people who put money down with Fuel saying, what can you do? Can you do a campaign for us? If I do a campaign for Fuel, I'm doing a campaign for Fisker, and then I'm doing a campaign for everybody. And so, I sort of politely said, keep me up to date with your situation. I'll pass on the news, but I can't become some sort of campaigning podcast against one particular company, because those people were really upset not getting what they'd put their money down for. The company didn't make it, and it's now sold its assets at auction for $170,000 only. The company did produce working prototypes and showed some early promise, but momentum faded after production delays, a shift towards electric bicycles, then a bankruptcy filing last year, and a closure. Heritage Global Partners handled the sale of about 185 lots. There were some trademarks, some IP, prototypes, the website, and other assets. 170 grand is all it was worth. Proceeds will be put towards the $7 million in outstanding debts. And finally, batteries are very important to be safe. But what about if you're trying to cut costs to the absolute bone? Well, 90% of Pakistan's electric two-wheelers rely on lead-acid batteries, which are marketed as graphene upgrades, which weakens the value of EV incentives and risks consumer confidence. The Pakistan Automotive Manufacturers Association is now urging the government to stop channeling subsidies to older technologies, since consumers already pay a premium for EVs. The PAMA director saying that over 90% of e-bikes are using a form of lead-acid cells, but coated with a thin graphene layer, which is a deceptive practice and an ineffective modification. Local makers offer no more than 2 years at the most warranty on these lead-acid battery packs for e-bikes versus 5 years or more for a proper lithium-ion battery. The association there alleging some interest in manipulating production and sales data. Subsidies, they say, should be redirected to proper advanced battery technology with enforceable warranties and transparency to ensure safety for e-bike riders. And goodness, that is a hot topic right now, to make sure that everyone who buys an e-bike is getting a decent battery. We've seen so many people buying some terrible stuff online, charging them at home, and bad BMSs and bad chargers and things like that. Look, there's nothing wrong with charging your e-bike battery at home, but there is some danger out there if you're looking to save every last penny and buy from some online unknown seller. So that's your podcast for today. Thanks to our premium partners, Porsche of the Village in Cincinnati, Audi of Cincinnati East, and Volvo Cars of Cincinnati East. National car charging on the US mainland, and Aloha Charge in Hawaii, and Octopus Electroverse global public charging made simple with one app and one map. Have a good and tomorrow, and remember, there's no such thing as a self-charging hybrid.
So you want to start a business. You might think you need a team of people and fancy tech skills, but you don't. You just need GoDaddy Arrow. I'm Walton Goggins, and as an actor, I'm an expert in looking like I know what I'm doing, even when I don't. And I like the sound of starting my own business, Walton Goggins Goggle Glasses. But I'm an actor. I don't know what I'm doing. I needed help. GoDaddy Arrow uses AI to create everything you need to grow a business. It'll make you a unique logo. It'll create a custom website. It'll write social posts for you and even set you up with a social media calendar. I didn't even realize I needed a social media calendar. GoDaddy Arrow will take your idea that sounds good and make a business that looks like you know what you're doing. GoDaddy Arrow can get your business up and running in minutes. You know what that sounds like? It sounds like a plan. Get started at GoDaddy.com/arrow. That's GoDaddy.com/AIRO.
No one knows your business better than you. So who better to create your website than, well, you? Wix's website builder puts it all in your hands. Create a beautiful website just by talking with AI or choosing from thousands of templates. Customize every detail with simple drag and drop tools and get everything you need to start running business your way. Build more, think bigger, and do it all yourself on Wix. Wix. It's where website creation meets AI and where your boldest ideas become real. It just takes one platform to build a site that looks great and does everything you need it to. And it just takes one person, you, to start taking care of business like a 10-person team. With AI tools for creating an entire website from scratch or testing new ways to make money, Wix is there with you from day one. Try it out now at Wix.com. Your business is one of a kind, so your website should be too. With Wix, it's easy, almost too easy, to create a website that's perfectly yours. Just tell AI what kind of site you want to build or choose from thousands of templates. Change whatever you want whenever you want and get everything you need to start running your business your way. No matter what you sell or what you aspire to be, you can do it all yourself on Wix. Go to Wix.com. No one knows your business better than you. So who better to create your website than, well, you? Wix's website builder puts it all in your hands. Create a beautiful website just by talking with AI or choosing from thousands of templates. Customize every detail with simple drag and drop tools and get everything you need to start running business your way. Build more, think bigger, and do it all yourself on Wix. Go to Wix.com.
Gonna have to adjust those cables to fit where we put all the hardware. Okay. Yeah. Zona. God, I hate Arizona. I mean, I don't hate Arizona. I would rather not be there in the summer. Hey, want to come to the middle of the desert? Let's see. Psh, yeah, you're excited. Nothing else matters. Come on, let's go.
Welcome back to MLB Tonight. I'm Robert Flores here alongside former GM Dan O'Dowd and baseball researcher Sarah Langs. The MLB Draft Combine is coming up. It's always an exciting time. Dan, what can we expect? What are you most looking forward to?
Well, again, these are the best players in the country. So players get to answer questions in this combine. Players get to push themselves up on the board. Players get to put themselves in a draft position. So I'm watching how the players are going to compete over the next few days.
And Sarah, this is a historic event this year because 2 female ball players receiving invites to participate in the combine after their storied collegiate careers.
And of course, both these women are expected to be drafted, but that doesn't mean the combine isn't important. It's an important opportunity to evaluate them with all of this technology and for fans and teams to see what they can do with all of this technology and all of the StatCast.
And what a unique story. You know, high school teammates separated in college, back on the field now competing against the
I
best
couldn't even hardly
players
understand
within
what
the
you
game.
say.
That is just really exciting.
Well, we can't wait to see how it all unfolds at the combine.
I don't know
in
anything
Phoenix.
about this person. I can't appreciate that, unfortunately. Eh.
Welcome to day 1 of the MLB Draft Combine from Chase Field in Arizona. The top high school and college baseball prospects, both male and female, showcased
Chase
their skills
Field.
this week, giving MLB clubs another opportunity to evaluate this year's draft class. It should be an impactful few days here in the desert. Alongside Sarah Langs, I'm Dan O'Dowd. It's time for batting practice, so let's turn our attention to what's happening down in the cage.
Who is Sarah Langs? American sports writer, podcaster, currently works at MLB.com. Baseball comment. Illness. Langs, an avid runner, first noticed an unexplained limp in 2019 and 2020. Some orthopedists believed that it was an ankle injury in 2021. She was diagnosed with amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, a progressive and terminal illness affecting motor function, often now referred to as Lou Gehrig's disease. Oh, God. She revealed her diagnosis just before the 2022 MLB postseason, continued to work for MLB and record podcasts, doing so mostly from home. Yeah. She's credited her work with baseball community with helping her to cope with her diagnosis. Man, that's a shame. Langs ran 3 half marathons while experiencing symptoms. Fuck, I haven't run any marathons, and I don't have any of those symptoms. That's amazing. Good for her. ALS. Since announcing her diagnosis, Lang has highlighted nonprofits and research efforts related to ALS. Well, yeah, I mean, A, good for her, good for everybody else. You know, A, good for her. B, good for everybody else. Man. Well, the prognosis not good, but you know, it's nice. It's nice that I don't know who has the MLB game. EA. I'm not sure who has the MLB game, but it was nice that they included her in the 2024 game. I don't have the 2025, but I'd hope that she'd be included in that. It's pretty special. And I'm getting all teary-eyed.
Sarah, BP started now, and this is where the scouts really bear down. They're looking at presence in the box. They're looking at the balance, rhythm, and timing of the swings. They're looking at how clean a swing path is. They're looking how connected a player
can be to a swing, and they're looking at the ability if they can hit the ball the entire field.
And there's so much data that comes along with BP. We've got exit velocity, which means we can look at how often the player's hitting the ball hard. In this day and age, hitting the ball hard has an actual definition. That's 95 plus miles an hour. And why do we care about that? Because in today's game, if you hit the ball hard, you're going to hit about 500 on those batted balls with a 1,000 slugging percentage. Another stat we'll look at is launch angle, and what we define as a sweet spot batted ball is 8 to 32 degrees of launch angle, basically a line drive. So I'll be looking at how often these players will be making that kind of contact as well.
You know, think about big league players like Alvarez, Judge, Ohtani, Trout. Their hard hit ball data is crazy. Their launch angles are very, very, very consistent. And you add all the things that we're evaluating, and think about, Sarah, the pressure these young players are under right now is probably the most pressure-packed BP these players have ever taken in their careers.
Damn it. Okay, well, apparently I suck.
More of a deep projection bat. The physicality's there. More power, over hit, really inconsistent bat path. She's going to have to clean up a lot in professional baseball, and you're going to have to be very, very patient with her. But the raw skill set is there.
You're just being nice. God. Okay, gotta make good here.
Sarah, we're in the infield play now. I have to tell you, this is my favorite part of the combine.
Fuck me.
From a scouting perspective, every time I walked into the ballpark, I'd always focused on my shortstops to begin with. I'd look at their footwork. I'd look at their body control. I look at their glove-to-hand transfer and how accurate their arms were. You know, we are an industry that loves arm strength, but it's the quickness of the ball out of the glove and it's the accuracy of the throw that's important. And I'm trying to see which of these players really check those boxes off for me.
Well, that exchange is something we can now measure thanks to StatCast, which is outstanding. In terms of metrics, obviously, we are going to focus on that arm strength, even though I agree it isn't the end-all be-all, and your shortstops are certainly the ones leading the way. Average of about 86.3 miles an hour on that max effort arm strength in 2023. Again, that's their top 10% of their throw. The absolute best of the best. And that doesn't even account for the guys like Ellie De La Cruz out here.
And, you know, it's really interesting, Sarah, if you watch the drill work that's being done. So they started balls at them, then they went to glove side, then they went to the open backhand side to really see what arm strength was. And then they finished with slow rollers, both the backhand slow roller and the ball they came in at, trying to see how they utilize their body and if they can throw from different arm angles. Let's take a look at the third base position. When I think of third base, I think of Nolan Arenado. So I'm looking at first step quickness and body control, and if they can throw from different angles. So in this drill, let's focus on that.
Come on.
When we turn to second base, look at angle reads. The best second basemen in the game, they've got great first step quickness, and they've got great angle reads to the ball.
What am I supposed to... Okay, so it's the right stick. Oh. Oh, Jesus. No. No. F. Jesus. To start a preload to second base, hold, then release to determine throw power.
More of a deeper projection. The talent package is there. It's just very, very, very crude. Arm strength is there. The body movement patterns aren't, so she's going to need a lot of reps to be able to duplicate what a good infielder has to do night in and night out at the professional level.
Yep. This sucks. No. $56. God. Yeah, no shit. That doesn't mean anything to me. idea what I'm doing in this game, so it's ChatGPT time. Okay. Oh, God. I'm going to have to take a nap here or something.